and welcome back to the Graceful Tangle YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another tutorial, and this is going to be for these crocheted velvet scrunchies. I am so excited to show you how to make these, but first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a new video. You can also find the written pattern for these scrunchies available on my blog, which will be linked in the description box below, as well as all of my other social media platforms. So go over there, see the pattern for yourself, or you can follow along with this tutorial. Now, before we go any further, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial, and I'm going to show you what you need and then how to make these super simple crocheted scrunchies. Alrighty guys, so these are the things that you're going to need for your scrunchies. You're going to need some ponytail holders. I recommend choosing a color of band that is most suitable for the color of velvet yarn that you are using. So I am using primarily dark colors. That gray is my lightest. So I'm going to use dark colored ponytail holders. Then you're going to need a size J crochet hook. You might find it helpful to have a smaller crochet hook on hand, which will make more sense in just a little bit. But if you just have a J, that is also totally fine. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some yarn, of course. Now again, I am using velvet yarn, and that is what these scrunchies are designed for. But you can use any yarn that you like. I personally just love the look of velvet. Now, I also included a printable that will be linked in the description box below for you to print off these labels onto cardstock, and you can use them to package your scrunchies like this, which I'm going to show you how to do. So, let's go ahead and get started crocheting. Now, I'm going to take my first color of yarn. This, if you're curious, is just the color purple. Here is one of the labels of this yarn. So I'm using silver, purple, and olive for this set right here. Alrighty, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my purple yarn. And I also wound mine into cakes because I've already made this set. And so the balls were a little bit sloppy just because of me already using them. So I wound mine into cakes to be a little bit neater. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, I'm going to take one of my dark colored rubber bands. It doesn't matter, you know, if you want to see it, that's totally okay. I personally prefer it to be as hidden as possible. So I'm going to use this dark color. Now let me move these things out of the way here so that you can easily focus on my hands instead of everything else that's in the background. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started crocheting. So I'm going to first grab my ponytail holder and my yarn. I'm going to hold my ponytail holder like so. And I'm going to insert my hook into the center of it. So all I have done is place my hook inside the ponytail holder. Now I'm going to lay my yarn over my hook as if I was going to do a yarn over. And I'm going to pull it through, just like so. Now notice that I held the tail and the working yarn just to give me a little bit of extra tension. And now I'm going to hold the tail and the ponytail holder in the same hand, just like this, and chain one. Now I'm going to start doing my half double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, and for these first few stitches, I'm going to work over both the tail and the ponytail holder so that I can automatically weave in that tail. So I'm going to do half double crochets all the way around. Now I am going to place 55 half double crochets around my ponytail holder, and I'm going to do about the first 10 holding the tail and the ponytail holder together. So I'm going to do a few more here. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the ponytail holder, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the ponytail holder, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. So I am going to keep doing my half double crochets Okay, so I think that is good for my tail. And you'll see that this yarn does shed a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to drop my tail and continue my half double crochets around. I will meet you back here when I have 55 half double crochets. Okay, so I have done about 45 half double crochet stitches. If you happen to get off track at all on this, you don't have to worry about it. There's no reason to rip out and start over. Simply do half double crochets until your ponytail holder is completely full of them. Now, again, I have done about 45 half double crochets, and now I am going to work the last 10. But something that I wanted to show you is notice how my stitches are getting more and more scrunched up and it's starting to wave. This is exactly what we want. The reason we want this to happen is because this means that when the ponytail holder is stretched, like this, all of those stitches are still going to cover the ponytail holder, and it's going to let the ponytail holder stretch as much as it needs to, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to work these last 10 half double crochets. Again, if you get off track at all, there's no reason to rip back. Just keep going until you simply can't fit any more stitches on the holder. Okay, my last couple. I'm just going to place one more just to cover up that little gap. Okay, so I have done all of my half double crochet stitches, and now I am just going to slip stitch to this first stitch. Just kind of place your hook wherever it feels good. I know this yarn is really hard to see the stitches with, so just do your best. And there we go. There's our slip stitch. So now I'm going to cut this yarn, leaving just a little bit of a tail to weave in later. Yarn over and pull it all the way through. Make sure to pull that nice and snug as well so that it doesn't come out. And now we are going to weave in our ends. Now, something that I really want to emphasize is I think it is so much simpler to weave in your ends with your crochet hook for this project instead of a yarn needle. Simply because this yarn is easily sheds, it's hard to thread, and it kind of just falls apart if you fiddle with it too much. And we don't want that to happen. So I have already woven in my first tail because I crocheted over it for the first few stitches. So I'm just going to give that a little tug and make sure it is as taut as it can be. And then I'm just going to cut it. And that one will be all woven in. There we go. And then once you pull it a couple of times, that is just going to hide in those stitches and it's going to be not noticeable. Alrighty, so now I am going to turn this over to the back of my work, get my crochet hook, and weave in this end. Now, this is where that smaller crochet hook comes in handy. If you find that it's too difficult to insert your size J crochet hook into these stitches, you can just use a smaller size hook, whatever works best for you. I'm just going to use this J hook, just for simplicity's sake. And I'm just going to insert it into a few of the stitches here on the back. There's not really any science behind this. It's simply just placing your hook where it'll go and where you think the end will stay. Okay, so I've inserted under a few of the loops. Now I'm just going to yarn over and pull it all the way through. Just like so. It's like magic. Okay, and now I'm just going to cut. Just like this. Okay, so that is what our finished scrunchie looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the other two for my set, and then I'm going to show you how to put them all nice and neat in this little label. So I'll be right back and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I have finished my last 2 scrunchies to complete my set of 3. And now I'm going to show you how to use these labels. So again, you can find the free printable. It's a PDF. You just download it and then print it. You can find that link in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use it. So I have already cut mine out, which again, I know will make more sense when you see the PDF for yourself. But I have cut mine out. And now I am just going to place my scrunchies on this, like so. So I think I'm going to do purple, silver, and then green for this one. Just like so. And now I'm just going to kind of scoot them all together so they blend a little bit, I guess. Okay, and now I'm just going to fold the back up like so. So it creates kind of one big loop, just like that. And now I'm going to get my little stapler here. And I know that it's a little bit difficult to do this because you don't want to make this staple too visible. But I think it looks just fine if you do it right up here at the top. So it'll look like this. And I don't mind the way that that looks. Alternatively, you could like glue this, but to be quite honest, there was quite a bit of stress. Like the scrunchies are kind of big, and so it wants to pop out, and you obviously don't want that to happen. And with glue, it would be a little bit difficult, I think, to make that work. So again, I'm just going to use a stapler, and I'm going to go right above the letters there and staple it together. And there we go. And now you can kind of position it a little bit better so that they are more on the front. And of course, you can add your name like I did. But yeah, so there are our crocheted scrunchies. So I hope you enjoyed following along with me as I make these super cute crocheted scrunchies. I love giving them as gifts, and I am super excited to be doing that this Christmas. These are the perfect last minute thing to add a little handmade touch to an already almost complete gift, and I hope that you enjoy making them. You can also feel free to sell these, at craft fairs or anything like that. Just be sure to give some credit to the pattern and don't redistribute the pattern for yourself, because obviously that wouldn't be right. However, you are more than welcome to sell the finished product as many times as you'd like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial fun to follow along and helpful. Again, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will chat with you all next time. Bye.